This is the
Don't make me
inaugural episode of Open Field. We're going to be talking about a bunch of random shit, mainly sports. So we're going to be talking about pop culture, other shit, and mainly the first thing I want to get into is the NFL schedule released last night. And in the world of schedule announcements, last year the Falcons kicked it off with a Game of Thrones announcement, and now every team is trying to put out the best one they possibly can. Couple good ones this year, like the Ravens did a game show themed one, the Broncos did a Full House spoof, but there's 4 teams I want to highlight. The Bills and the Jags, hands down, had the best ones of 2020. I have actually one right here. Which, by the way, is my fucking favorite. That thing. Dude, it's someone's full-time fucking job to do this now. They just give an intern a bag of coke and just let him go fucking buck wild. And by the way, this is like a minute and 40 seconds, I'd say. Some teams have like 7-minute fucking intros. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not even showing any one of those, but some are really boring. But this was probably tied with the Bills for the best one.
Yeah, right.
That was awesome.
That one was really good, right?
I think it's crazy that someone from those organizations had to reach out to someone that owns a fucking cat and say, "Hey, we want to use your cat in our shit. Is it okay if we use your video in our fucking promotion?"
All right, so the Jags, obviously, that's probably one of the better ones. The Bills, and you can see the thumbnail here. It's already going to start off pretty damn good. So the Bills have now changed their name to Primetime Bills. They posted a video on Twitter highlighting their 4 primetime games in 2020 because now they're not under the Patriots' fucking boot for the first time in 20 years.
For real, yeah.
So they have 4 primetime games this year, and
I've got some very
this
good
is their
news.
schedule video.
What's that, Pepper?
The Bills have 4 primetime football games this season.
Wow.
Everybody chill!
Football rules! Slight meat's back on the menu, boys!
House, wait.
That's pretty neat!
Dude, these things are like fucking fever dreams.
Great! Now let them have it!
Oh my god!
That was awesome! That was awesome right there! Wow!
Wow.
I've got
So-
some very good.
It was cool. The first one was better. The Jags one was
probably,
better.
yeah, definitely. I think this one was it was just kind of like a mixture of
It's very random.
they're just
Yeah.
they're just meme videos. They're like dank meme videos now. That's probably why that guy doesn't post anymore. He's fucking working for the Buffalo Bills. So those are probably the best. The weirdest one goes to the Cincinnati Bengals, where they did kind of a homage to Joe Burrow's iconic photo from the BCS National Championship game. You'll see it here. It's just really weird. Like,
Oh, they're on cigars, like they're gonna smoke them.
it's that for 17 weeks.
Yeah, but I think it's cool though, because it's like it's them saying that they're going to smoke
No,
them.
all I see is a bunch of teams.
They
on
have cigars reserved.
brown dicks. That's all I see. So it's that for 17 weeks. I'm not even gonna.
Do they reuse the same
waste
cigar
time on it.
video
Dude,
for?
it looks
divisional
almost the same.
teams?
Yeah. They have a bye week. And you could count this one as the best one possibly. I put it under the category of probably the cutest one. So the Detroit Lions used the electronic crack pipe that most people know as Animal Crossing to announce their schedule.
Oh wow.
This is fucking crazy.
Like, it's probably the most passive-aggressive fucking thing they could have done.
That was the bad.
I haven't played enough of this game. Is this like custom, or is this stuff you can do in the game?
So you can create your own clothes in the game, and you can even put IDs like creator codes on them to where people can type it in.
What did he do? Bury a bear?
He buried a bear, and then now they're hitting a Green Bay Packers fan with a net, which that's
nets?
like that's like a common thing to do when you go into other people's towns. Is people just like hit people in the head with nets over and over again. They think it's the funniest thing. Oh, this is a good one too.
What is this? There's something to do with the
President
Vikings,
from
obviously, right?
It was from AZ. It was from Arizona. It's a tie because they tied last year.
Oh well.
Alvin from New Orleans.
Report.
What is this? Their bye already?
Yeah, it's their bye week. Yeah.
Damn, early ass.
What, week
They have a
4?
Week 4.
Hate to have a week 4 bye.
First bye you possibly have. They even throw a little Tiger King in there. Straight basket like Carol.
What the hell?
The Colts for the Seahorse, the Sea Colt. Mitch, get ready.
Who?
What brings you to DC?
Jeez.
You know this game's at Ford Field, right? Fucking sick.
I didn't get that one.
It's their game on Thanksgiving. against the Texans.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Oh, this one's good too. His ugly helmet.
Jeez.
That fucking capitalist raccoon.
I thought this was the year that they were implementing the 17 weeks, 17 games. No,
I don't,
it's only
yeah, I
16
think it's
games.
probably next year or something.
But I think this is the year where you get the there's an extra playoff game. I think.
Yeah, it's gonna be only the top seed gets
A
only
bye.
the top seed gets a bye, which is gonna be pretty huge when it comes into the strength of schedule, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be a whole lot. Hulu doesn't just have live sports. Tom. Ah, he fucking
Yeah.
killed himself.
This one was definitely creative. They threw Animal Crossing in, which fucking billions of people are playing.
And then it was kind of cool, like, even down here, they put their creator codes in, so you can get a Stafford jersey, you can get a
Oh, that's
Prater
cool.
jersey, a Sanders jersey, a Lions cap. I thought that was probably the most creative one between those four.
Yeah, that was cool.
Pretty big. Let me put this to the side here. Do 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 do. All right, and whoops, I'm like fucking flying all over the place. My cat is fucking clawing under the under my fucking door. Monday Night Football.
You have a fucking million tabs.
I have so many open right now.
Mm.
All right, so in terms of strength of scheduling,
Okay.
the top teams for easiest schedule in the NFL goes Ravens number 1, Steelers number 2, Cowboys number 3. The three hardest schedules in the NFL is Patriots number 1, Jets number 2, Miami number 3, and then San Fran's number 4. Pretty interesting considering that the Ravens and the Steelers, same division, have easiest schedule. Patriots, Jets, and Dolphins are all top 3 in the same division. And then other ones to note is that KC's kind of the middle of the road at 18. The Eagles are at 25, easiest schedule, which is good. It's goes downwards from hardest. So Eagles 25, Redskins 28, and Giants 26. So the NFC East and the AFC East collectively make up the top 8 as they face each other this year. So the one thing plays into it is that the NFC East and the AFC East obviously play each other. So that's one of the things contributing towards them
AFC
having.
North.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the AFC North, correct. The NFC East and the AFC North, they make up the top 8. So all 8 teams have the easiest schedule this year, and Baltimore went 14-2 last year. So even factoring that in, they still have the easiest schedule between
Yeah, that's
all
crazy.
of them.
How they still got it.
And a couple other things to note on the schedule just from looking at it. Oh, whoops. One thing I missed was right here.
Next,
The Giants used
We
Eli Manning
have-
to announce.
I'm on a permanent bye week now.
I thought it was
Jeez.
pretty fucking good. So, um, a couple other things to note is the Jets and the Dolphins are the first teams to play each other consecutively since 1991. So week 10, the Jets play the Dolphins. Then week 11, they both are on a bye. And then week 12, they're at Jets. So they're literally going to play each other back to back before they play anybody else.
Wow.
Yeah, first time in 20 years, 29 years. That's happened. Mitch, are you on mute or are you just like dead? Did you eat yourself out your window?
I am here, dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
When
I'm
click,
just
when-
kind of listening to what you're rambling about, you know?
when you click your mute button, I can hear it.
No, I know
It,
that,
like,
but I
pops
muted.
off.
I muted and was not talking.
You don't have to mute
So.
yourself, but Patriots play at SoFi Stadium in LA twice in 5 days. So they're going to be playing the Chargers December 6th, and then December 10th they're going to play the Rams. So they'll literally be in the same spot for 5 days across the country too, which is pretty huge. So they're probably going to end up having to stay out there. The Vikings are going to host the Packers to open their season for the first time in franchise history, which is fucking mind-blowing to me. That not once have the Vikings ever played the Packers at home to open their season. Ever.
That is crazy, yeah.
Lions are the only team without a prime time or a night game this year. They have Thanksgiving, but it's not considered a primetime game. So literally everybody has at least one Thursday night or Sunday night or Monday night game. The Lions have 0.
That's crazy.
And then they put out another stat I thought was interesting is that Kansas City has, let's see here. Kansas City has the highest net rest days versus opponents. So Kansas City has 10 plus days. So if you play on, for example, Thursday night, and your opponent next week, they play that Sunday before, you would have 4 net rest days that you would add on to it. And if vice versa, if you play on Monday night, you play on Sunday, you lost a day. So Kansas City gets the most rest this year. So does Tennessee, Buffalo, Washington. So the 3 top teams were playoff teams last year. Middle of the road, you see New England, Baltimore, Philadelphia, San Fran, all playoff teams last year. And then once you start to go down this list here, you see Jets, Giants, Jacksonville, Minnesota, Miami. You have Green Bay, LA, and Tampa Bay. Cincinnati's got a brutal -11, and then Denver's -13.
That's shitty.
On those ones, yeah, for real. I seen a stat on here is Baltimore doesn't have back-to-back home games until week 15, 16. We literally play, you can see here, we play, it's blue, gray, blue, gray, blue, gray, blue, gray, blue, gray, blue, gray, until
Gotta fuck you up a little
15,
bit.
16. But here's the thing. You would think that would mean we would travel a lot. Baltimore doesn't have to leave the Eastern time zone after week 2. So when you look on there, we play Kansas City, then the Redskins, then Cincinnati, then Eagles, Steelers, Colts, Patriots, Titans, Steelers again, Cowboys. That's the farthest we'll ever go is Texas.
Wow.
Browns,
It's not bad.
Jags, Giants, Bengals. We travel only 6,310 in miles this year. It's the fewest by any team in the past 4 seasons.
Damn.
And then
week 8 by right in the middle.
yeah, it's kind of like a middle of the road bye too. And then the good thing about our divisions playing this year is that we get to go to some games if the virus doesn't shut us down. Week 1,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Eagles at Redskins. Week 4, Ravens at Redskins. And then Eagles at Ravens, week 6. So those are 3 games that we would all be interested in.
I like that week 6
Mm-hmm.
in Philly.
In terms
What
of
do you
Monday night-
What do you think? Looking at the schedule, what do you think you guys will go?
It's tough. So, week 1, I think we win. I don't know what the fuck they're doing in Houston, so we probably win week 2. Week 3, it's tough because, Lamar has 3 regular season losses, and 2 of them are Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, and they seem to have our number. We are playing at home, though. That place is going to be fucking rocking. So we probably lose there, though. We win week 4. Week 5, we probably win. Week 6 will be a toss-up. So we're going to beat the Steelers, so week 5-1. I don't know how to place that one yet. I don't know how the Colts have their identity, too. So it'll be 5-1-1. Wait, no, be 8, 5-1-1. 6-1-1. Be 6-1-1. 7-1-1. I don't think they're going to be fucking good at all this year. Titans we're probably going to lose too because we'll fucking choke against them again. So 7-2-1, 8-2-1. I feel like we beat Cowboys at home. 9-2-1, 10-2-1, 11-2-1.
You're giving yourself a tie?
12. I don't know how to place the Eagles game yet. We'll probably lose that one. So let's call it 3. So I'd say 13-3. Hopefully, we'll probably lose to the Eagles, we'll lose to the Titans, and we'll lose to Chiefs. So Chiefs, Eagles, Titans will probably be the 3 games we lose. That's probably how it ended up working out.
Does that get you obviously first place AFC North?
Oh yeah, definitely. That would definitely do it. I don't know if it's gonna give us first round bye though. Monday Night Football, the week 3 at Chiefs is Monday Night Football.
Okay.
We see the Bucks twice. Week 8. So week 8 they play the Giants at the Giants, and then week 11 they're home against the Rams. So they get 2 Monday Night Football games this year. And then another interesting thing is Eagles play the Seahawks week 12, which is going to be huge for them because obviously they lost twice last year.
Yeah.
One in the regular season, one in the wild card round.
And they host the Seahawks, right?
They host.
Yeah.
Correct. Home versus Seahawks week 12, and they lost 17-9 twice last year. So they're definitely going to want to. That's going to be a game to go to. That's going to be a fucking huge game. Bills at 49ers week 13. Two of the top defenses going towards each other. And then week 16, Bills at Patriots. It's probably not going to decide the division. I mean, unless the Bills choke, they're probably going to have that in the bag by fucking week 16. But it's one of the only 3 Monday night games that feature 2 playoff teams from last year. So the 3 that I just said, so Chiefs, Ravens, Eagles, Seahawks, and Bills, Patriots are the only games on a Monday Night Football schedule this year that have 2 playoff teams. It's kind of a weak Monday Night Football schedule. You can see here it's Steelers at Giants, Titans at Broncos. You have Saints at Raiders week 2. Week 3 you have Chiefs at Ravens. Week 4 you have Falcons at Packers. Week 5 we have Chargers at Saints. Week 6 Cardinals, Cowboys. Week 7 Bears at Rams. Week 8 Bucks at Giants. 9 Patriots at Jets. 10 Vikings at Bears. 11 Rams at Buccaneers. 12 Seahawks at Eagles. 13 Bills at 49ers. 14 Ravens at Browns. 15 Steelers at Bengals. And week 16 Bills at Patriots.
That week 3 is going to be crazy.
Oh, week 3 is going to be nuts. It's probably going to be the loudest that stadium's going to get all year.
But Monday night isn't what it used to be, Monday Night Football.
I mean it's not, but it's actually the funny thing too is it's not Monday night, but Thursday night is the first year we're not going to get Lions versus fucking Jags for the first time in like 7 years. They're not going to play each other on Thursday night, which is huge.
I don't think anyone's going overseas this year. I don't think no London games.
No, they're not going over
There
there.
are 0 London games, yes.
But I don't know if you guys looked at the full schedule yet for a lot of the teams, but what do you guys think your matchup of the year is? Like your game of the year?
You mean just my team or like in general?
Really anything. It could be anything.
I like that Chiefs and Ravens.
Chiefs Ravens is gonna be pretty big, yeah. I don't know if I have the Thursday night football schedule up. Let me look that up actually. Do.
Week 1.
I mean, it's
good
yeah, and it's hard to kind of give a gauge on that. You'll obviously see some of the matchups, that make sense in your head. But I mean, as the season goes on, you're going to see key games flexed. You're going to see a game that you never thought would be
Yeah, they're gonna move some stuff.
the game of the year or whatever it is that gets flexed into Monday night or
And obviously, you see Patriots there just because for the last 10 years it's been a fixture, but it's gonna be a whole lot different now. And you do see Rams twice, I think, on Monday Night Football, and you see them once on Thursday Night Football because the NFL has this hard on for fucking football in LA.
Yeah, they
And I can't see the Rams being what they were before.
What about this? Is it the first Sunday night game? I believe it's Cowboys in LA to open up the Rams' new stadium.
Is that
Of
what
course
it's gonna be?
They use fucking Dallas for that.
Where
Yeah.
Is that Monday Night Football you said, or Thursday Night Football?
I think it's the first Sunday night game. Week
Oh
1.
yeah, Sunday night. We go Sunday Night Football.
The crazy thing is when you're looking when you're looking at the beginning of the schedule for a lot of these teams, it's like the first 4 weeks is nothing but NFC versus AFC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much they're just interconference games. Yeah, week 1 Dallas at LA. Yep. And then
the past probably more than 5 years, I feel like it's always been Cowboys opening up against the Giants.
these Sunday Night Football games are gonna be fucking rocking. Now that I'm looking at them, holy shit! Week 1 you have Cowboys versus Rams. Week 2 you have Patriots at Seattle. Then week 3 you have Packers at Saints. Week 4 you have Eagles at San Fran. 5 you have Vikings at Seahawks. You have Rams at San Fran. I mean, it's gonna be a fucking stacked Dallas at Philly. Week 8. You have fucking Drew Brees and Tom Brady. Week 9, and they play to kick off the year too.
Yeah, they kick off week 1.
Mm-hmm. So they're gonna have 2 primetime games on Thursday for the start of the season, and then I'm sure they're gonna have some kind of juicy fucking game for week 17.
How do you think your rivals are going to do, the Steelers? They bounce back?
No, I don't know. It's gonna be tough because I don't know how Ben Roethlisberger is gonna do under center. I mean, they really don't have like James Conner can't decide whether he wants to be a good running back or get fucking hurt all the time. And Juju, I don't think he definitely hasn't established himself as a number 1, so it's gonna be tough. James Washington's probably gonna have a bigger role this year, and that defense will probably get better. I mean, looking back at it, trading a first-round pick for Minka Fitzpatrick was a fucking steal. And then Chase Claypool they got in the second round this year, so that's probably gonna be their wide receiver of the future. That guy's a fucking stud. So
It's really up on Big Ben's shoulders, I think.
yeah, and it's clear. There's nothing more clear than last year that Mason Rudolph and Devlin Hodges are not the answer in Pittsburgh at all. Not even close.
And they have a tough. I mean, looking at their schedule, the cool thing is they play the NFC East this year.
Correct.
So they'll play all of those teams. But I mean, the first up until week 6, I mean, those could be. I mean, they could start the season 0-5 if they drop to the Giants. If they drop week 1 to the Giants and the Broncos take them, they could slide 3, 4, and 5. The Texans, Titans, and Eagles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could
get ugly real
fast for them early in their schedule.
They could potentially go into week 6 against the Cleveland Browns 1-4 or 0-5.
They could lose that too.
And then even if so, let's say they take week 6. Let's say they drop 4, right? They beat the Giants, they lose to the Broncos, they lose those 4 teams. Let's say even if they beat the Browns, they're 2-4 going to Baltimore.
Jeez.
They're two. Then they're 2-5. They're 2-5 going into their bye. They come back. They have to travel to Dallas.
Yeah,
That
it's definitely
could-
Then
tough.
they're Then they're 2-6. You have 2 throwaway games probably that are you could pencil in as a double win. Bengals and Jags, and then they have to go back home to play the Ravens again. That's Thursday night. That's Thanksgiving.
The thing about this, they have the second easiest schedule based on last year, based on their records last year. You know, but it's
Yeah.
Gonna, I mean, it's gonna be tough for them.
But on paper, it's tough. I mean, you got the 2 Bengals games. You usually chalk those up as wins. They play the Skins week 13. You can probably chalk that up as a win. But then after that, even after the Thanksgiving game, you still have the Bills they have to play. And you still have the Colts. And who knows what that's going to turn into. And then you have the Browns again week 17.
Yeah, and who knows what the fuck the Browns are going to be this year.
I mean, they're Steelers have always been gritty. They'll grind wins out that they probably
they were. I mean, Mike Tomlin was on the cusp of Coach of the Year last year. You know, battling. Getting that team to battle back to win the games that they were winning.
What they go last year? They didn't miss the playoffs by much, I don't think.
No, but they were in the hunt until the last couple games. It was just tough because you had Tennessee and Houston as wildcard teams.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, so under the thread here for the Steelers' schedule, under this thread, you have a couple people arguing, talking about the schedule, and then you have someone that actually breaks it down, and it's broken down actually the exact way. They lose week 1 to the Giants, they win to the Broncos, and then they slide the next 3.
Yeah,
so they start 1-4. They beat the Browns. They're 2-4. They lose to the Ravens and the Cowboys. Now they're 2-6. They beat the Bengals and the Jags. They're 4-6. 4-7 lose to the Ravens.
They're not catching up to the Ravens with that start.
No, and 5-7 after they beat the Skins. They're 5-8 when they lose to the Bills. 6-8 when they beat the Bengals. 7-8 when they beat the Colts, and then 7-9. So I mean, it's a trend in the direction of what we saw last year.
Yeah.
You know what? Tweet I seen earlier today that I mean, obviously being a Ravens fan, I'm kind of biased, but scare the absolute shit out of me is you'll see here. That's not it. Shit, where's it at?
And what about fucking Earl Thomas?
I want to talk about that in a little bit, actually. Wait, why is it putting the fucking that tweet up? It's putting. Hold on, I have it here. Actually, yeah, we might as well talk about him now. Have you guys heard about the Earl Thomas shit? Obviously, you probably have. Mitch, have you heard about it?
Yeah.
And the story
how fucking wild is that? Dude, I love it. I love how it's just like a double. There's like a double layered thing.
Well, I mean, I get what you mean by weird, but I think what you mean by weird is that having all of those women in the same room as your brother.
Yeah.
But I don't think when they said in bed, I'm pretty sure it was a double bed. I mean, I'm sure Earl Thomas has enough money to.
Yeah.
It was an Airbnb, so it wasn't like a hotel room.
So people were digging up a lot of tweets from the past where Earl Thomas said, "Feels good to spend time with my little bro." Back in 2013 at 4:39 in the morning. And then a year before that, in 2011, Seth Thomas says, "Golden tag teamer."
Oh my god.
So, you can only imagine what they were talking about. Obviously, he was in a stint of amateur wrestling, and he's probably they had a tag team partner at the time. So I think it's what they're talking about. Yeah. But yeah, Earl Thomas obviously loves spending time with his little bro at 4:00 in the morning, in the middle of February.
So when did this happen? Back in
This
April?
happened early April. Yeah. So she She, you can see in the article here, we observed a black female wearing an orange sweater with a knife in her hand, later identified as Nina Thomas, was chasing a shirtless black male, later identified as Earl Thomas, with a pistol in his hand around a vehicle. So when the police got there, Earl Thomas had the pistol in his hand because
He wrestled it out of her
he
hand.
wrestled it out of her hand. Now, she went there without a magazine in it, trying to scare him. Little thing she didn't know is that there was a round in the chamber. So that shit could have got really bad. And luckily everything's okay. But
Where did this happen at? You said Airbnb, like where?
It was an Airbnb that they
locally.
rented. She used his Snapchat location.
Probably, yeah.
She logged into his Snapchat and looked on the map of like where he went. Saw that they were with women on his Snapchat, and then that's how she tracked him down, which is just another testament of fucking lock your shit up.
And the interesting thing is that this happened early April, and the Ravens did not know about it until the TMZ report came out. So he didn't disclose it to Baltimore, but he did the day before the report came out. He did post this on his Instagram.
So my agent just hit me and said that I'm going to be on TMZ tomorrow from an altercation that happened with me and Nina. So just wanted to get ahead of it, and
I just want to get some head.
I mean, it's really not anybody's business.
I want to get a heads up on
it. It's pissing me off that it got out, but it's the world we live in today. But instead of talking about us, just keep us in y'all prayers. And stuff like this happens, bro. We try to live the best lives we possibly can, but sometimes it don't go as planned. Just pray for us, as we go through this stuff. We're back talking. I'm seeing my kids. So just keep us in your prayers.
I was just waiting for him to give the middle finger to the camera. Where's it at here? Someone said it best here. Hold on here. I had it here somewhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's easy to lose shit. There's 9,000 fucking tabs.
Yeah, I didn't have. There was one where he said, the Ravens are actually investigating on if they can get out of the $10 million they owe him this year due to a breach of contract. Apparently, there's something called a good boy clause, an extra good boy clause, that they were discussing on Reddit that I thought was pretty interesting. But back to matchup of the year. What do you guys have?
It's so early. I still go back to that week 3 Monday night.
Week 3 Monday night, Ravens Chiefs. Yeah, it's been pretty good.
That.
What do you think, Mitch? What do you think your matchup of the year is?
Like I said, I mean, it's one of those things that, in my head, I think that maybe not team versus team, but like, I think in my head, what I'm excited about is just to see players.
Yeah.
Players going at it, players that you normally wouldn't have seen on teams. Like now you have, in a division where you really didn't see too much tough action, or you didn't really see too many skill play. Like I would say high skill players would be, a matchup like Stephon Diggs now with the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Now playing, let's say, the Patriots and Stephon Gilmore, and now you're going to be able to see a little bit more of a competitive nature in that sense. But like a lot of cool stuff, like, Tom Brady playing down south, playing that division.
Mm-hmm. Twice
NFC
a year.
South
Right.
is probably the most stacked division
in
NFL history.
The fact that, Tom Brady plays in a schedule now where Khalil Mack can get his hands on him, crazy stuff like that. Like I want to see I want to see a lot of cool matchups with players. Obviously, Joe Burrow. I want to see what he can do, and playing a couple different teams.
Yeah, they have one primetime game this year, at least one. I'll
Yeah,
try
I'm
and
liking
find it.
I'm liking like the quarterback
Yeah,
matches. Like
week
I believe
2, Bengals at Browns.
Joe Burrow faces Baker. He plays Tua, I believe, at the end of the year.
If Tua starts, but by that time he'll probably be either getting garbage time games or they might be. Who knows, man? Hot take. Do they compete for the division this year?
Dolphins.
Yeah, upgraded defense.
I think it's definitely the Bills. The Bills to lose.
Yeah, it's the Bills to lose, without a doubt. But
Jets.
you can see Miami taking a run at it. They just had 3 first-round draft picks. They got some capital. Apparently, they have their quarterback of the future now. They got an upgraded defense.
What about it looks just pulled this up in late December. Browns at the Giants. That's when Beckham returns to New York.
He hasn't returned to New York yet?
Well, he played the Jets, so that doesn't count.
Oh, yeah, true.
But yeah, that would be the first time they're playing the Giants.
Which could be a big game if I mean the Browns aren't going to take that division.
No.
But
wild card, you never know. You get that extra wild card now.
Right. That's what they would be playing for, and maybe that becomes, something that's pivotal at that point of the year. Yeah. And who knows? Even for the Giants, it's always a toss-up, especially with a healthy Saquon and offensive tackles. And
you're gonna have a full. Well, I won't say full workout off season, but with Danny Dimes as your definitely quarterback. So.
Yeah, I mean, right, and progression, right, in starting a full season. Having the confidence and not knowing, or knowing that you're the guy and having a little bit of weapons, but definitely interesting.
No more excuses for the Browns. They have their receivers.
No, there's no reason they should be losing any game. There's no reason why they should be losing, honestly, 12 games. They shouldn't lose 12 games with the roster they have. And adding more offensive firepower this offseason with Austin Hooper, I mean, that's a big add. Also having Njoku, which is, he's a player that, has shined a little bit, but not what we all, thought he was going to be. But there's too many. It's too star-studded, especially with the backfield the way it looks. And I mean, the only weak part on that offense is you're the guy that has the ball in his hands and some of the players on the line. That's really it. But
it's really up to Baker at this point.
Yeah, who knows what that happens if they slide? I mean, you're gonna see Case Keenum. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't doubt it, especially when you got 2 of the guys who brought you in and are the reason why you're there right now and you were drafted. They're not there anymore.
Right. So he has no more guys in his corner. Correct. Nobody that feels obligated to keep him. And the crazy thing is that when they look at the talent they have on that team, if you're losing games consistently, I mean, that's the first move. And you can only fire so many coaches before, especially in a time where they gave up a lot of stuff to get those guys. Mm-hmm. To acquire Odell, to acquire Jarvis, and not to say that it's a 1-year thing or a 2-year thing, but you can't pay that offense forever, especially with a player like Nick Chubb who's on that contract. I mean, he's going to need to be paid at some point, whether you let him walk or you keep Hunt. That's up to them. But with the amount of this is going to be a team where we look back and say, how the hell do they not win a Super Bowl?
Well, that's a 5-hour offense.
It's like the 2009 Chargers.
Right. Or vice versa. We'll say, how the hell did they only win one? If it happens. And the big thing is defense. But, I mean, the Browns picked a really bad time to be on a surge with the way that Baltimore has created
Powerhouse.
an all Madden like team from what it looks like. It's cool. It's a cool thing to watch.
Go ahead, Mike.
So just to throw that in is that I seen a stat today where they counted the amount of plays ran in pistol formation last year. The second team, closest team, was the Houston Texans. They ran 71 plays in the pistol. Baltimore ran 541 plays last year in the pistol formation.
Crazy.
And they averaged 6 to 7 yards a clip on 200 plus run plays. For pistol.
But I mean, you're not.
It's just mind blowing.
But that's not something that's going to be replicated. I mean, especially when there's analytics like that out, the teams are going to plan for that. They have a whole off season to plan for those schemes. So I mean, you're going to see a big difference. You're going to see a big difference in the dynamic of a lot of teams just needing to change. What people caught on to last year, but that would be the big. I would say the biggest thing that obviously Lamar Jackson needs to prove. Obviously, incredible accomplishment so far. But can you get over that hump? Can you get over when you peak? Can you stay relevant?
I don't know. Last year, you had someone win MVP in 2018 and win a Super Bowl in 2019. So.
No, I'm not saying that it's possible, but I'm saying that when you play the way you do in a specific manner, and people start to catch wind of how you're playing, the next year sometimes doesn't go so hot for players. But that would obviously be something that if he can overcome that and continue on that role, I mean, that's huge. That's something that I'm sure a lot of people will be watching the rest of the year to make sure that, not to say that he's not the real deal, but to make sure that, this is something that can be consistent.
Yeah, I get what you're saying with that, but I mean, like, even in 2018, at the end of that season, people were saying, "Oh, just wait till they figure out Lamar. Just wait till they figure out the offense." And then 2019, they came out. Teams knew exactly what they were going to do. They were going to run the ball with Lamar. They were going to run the option with Ingram. It was going to be a run-heavy offense, and he rushed for 1,000 yards, and he led the league in touchdowns thrown.
Yeah, I think what threw everyone off was his passing. Everyone knew what he could do as a runner.
Completion percentage. He was one of the most accurate passers in the NFL last year.
If he can keep doing that, passing the ball, it's going to be crazy. I think, honestly, having the bye threw them off because they already clinched. They didn't start anyone week, 17, the last game of the year. And then having that bye, they basically had 2 weeks off. I think that fucked them up.
I mean, they had to heal. They had to heal up Mark Andrews. They had to heal up Mark Ingram. I mean, fucking the whole offense almost died within 3 plays of each other in the game before that. It was horrible, and it's just going to be interesting to see it happen. Or them try to figure out this year. They got J.K. Dobbins, so they have their running back for the future after Mark Ingram either retires or signs somewhere else next year, because we're probably not going to be able to afford him next year, and it's going to be kind of just more of the same. But I get what you're saying with him having to prove himself. It's just like how many league MVPs do you hear people still say, I want to see him prove it, or I think he still has more to prove.
Not a lot of players win MVP in that short of a time. That's why. Usually you have a player that goes 7 years in his career, wins an MVP. He's already established himself as a year in, year out quarterback for 5-6 years or 4 years or whatever it is. I mean, we're talking about a short period of data here,
Same with Mahomes.
But I mean, that's what I mean by that, is that, year one, he's running all over the place, then he starts throwing, then, he switched it up, to lead the league in touchdowns like that's obviously a testament of people being scared of what he could do with his legs, honestly, freezing defenses. You're so afraid that he's going to start running that, you're not preparing for him to throw the ball. But going forward, there's going to be an adjustment again because now they know he can do both. Year one, he couldn't do both. It was not. And when he did it in times where they were either out of the ball game or whatever it was. He was a one-dimensional player year one, but now, I mean, he's definitely shown that he can do both. But and with not a lot of not a lot of weapons, but not a lot of weapons as far as people running down the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Marquise Brown was hurt for most of the year, but just one last thing to add before we move on. There's only 2 players in the last 30 years, MVPs, that haven't reached a Super Bowl. One is Lamar Jackson. We obviously know he hasn't been in a Super Bowl yet. Patrick Mahomes finished it last year, so he crossed himself off the list. There's only 2 players in the last 30 years that won MVP and have not reached a Super Bowl. Do you know who the other person is?
Are they quarterbacks or?
No.
Adrian Peterson?
Correct. Adrian Peterson and Lamar Jackson, only 2 MVPs in the last 30 years. All of the 28 have either reached the Super Bowl or won one. So the metrics are hopefully on their side. So they're 28-2 when it comes to reaching the Super Bowl. And you got one young player, and you got, obviously the Vikings should have gone there a couple times, but they fucking fumbled like 15 times in an NFC Championship game.
The Saints were literally trying to take people's heads off.
For real.
Well, it's comforting to know that both of those streaks will be broken after this year.
What do you think? Oh, you mean AP leaving or AP retiring?
No, dude.
Redskins going to the Super Bowl. I forgot. Right. Okay. All right.
Yeah, a little Maryland Super Bowl.
My matchup of the year is going to be Aaron Rodgers versus the Green Bay Packers, week 1 through 17.
I love it.
It's going to be such a shit show. I can't wait.
Do you think he finishes the year starting with that? I mean, they're not going to
probably, but I think
trade him or bench him, but it's going to be just hostile as shit the whole year.
I think the ups and downs this year is going to be the breaking point for them, and there's probably going to be some bad blood during the year.
I get it. The offense is not terrible.
All right, listen. So I was doing some research earlier today, and a stat came across me that blew my fucking mind. So since 2009, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Aaron Rodgers was drafted in 05.
Yep.
So 05, right? They drafted Greg Jennings in the second round in 06 to complement him. They drafted James Jones in the third round in 07. They got Jordy in the second round of 08, which was their first pick of the draft. They didn't have a first-round draft pick. They drafted Randall Cobb in 2011, and they drafted Devontae Adams in 2014 with a second-rounder. Those were all either second or third-rounders. Since 2009, the Green Bay Packers have only selected one offensive weapon in the first round, and his name's Jordan Love.
Right, that was a stat. That was a stat that was on during the draft. Was that this Jordan Love? He's the first
offensive player.
Right,
Correct.
player.
It's his replacement.
Right, since Aaron Rodgers was drafted to replace Brett Favre.
But you have a generational talent in Aaron Rodgers that once he starts winning, and even when you get that first Super Bowl, that you know that he's going to be the guy until he can't, stay on the field anymore. And you actively choose not to support him with weapons. Yeah, they gave him Devontae Adams. Yeah, they gave him Jordy Nelson fucking 10 years ago, 12 years ago. But Randall Cobb in 2011. But even after that, Devontae Adams in 2014. After that, that's it. They drafted Aaron Jones in like the second or third round beforehand, but no offensive weapons. Like no weapons that they could use for him. And I'm talking tight ends too. You go through the list, they didn't grab fucking anybody for this guy.
And in one of
the Jimmy Graham experiment didn't work out.
Yeah, correct. But still, I mean, like you got a guy and you don't draft around him. And you look at the guys they drafted in the first round, and half of them didn't materialize to be a whole lot either way. And
right.
granted, Huh?
One of the deepest wide receiver drafts probably ever.
Correct, and you go for his replacement.
And not only, I don't even think they didn't have a first round pick. Didn't they trade up? They might have had a first round pick, but they definitely
They
traded
traded
up.
back, and then I think they traded forward. They traded back out, and then they traded back in. Pretty sure.
Literally, probably the most. How do I put this? Like physically gifted quarterback, maybe
Yeah.
ever. Like just like obviously he works his ass off. He probably prepares like crazy, but he is insane. Just physically gifted, God gifted talent, and they give him nothing.
Yeah. It just blows my fucking mind. And whether he plays somewhere else, who knows? But yeah, I think the bridge has been burned. He's still over there. You know.
Yeah.
I don't think we see him play more than 16 games for the Green Bay Packers this year.
Could be it.
That's all I got for NFL schedule and stuff like that. Damn, we put
Let's talk NFC East.
56 minutes in so far. NFC East.
Yeah.
I actually got all the schedules right here, actually. So let's look at the Redskins schedule. So what, they're at home? Is that home right there? The
Yeah.
Red? So they're
Let Mitch take us through this.
You don't fucking want me to do that.
What do you think you're scheduling, or what do you think your team's gonna end with? Eagles, at Eagles. What do you think?
I have them dropping the first 2 games.
Okay, so they're 0-2. So they play the Detroit. What do you think happens?
They win at Detroit.
Okay, I can see it. What do you think happens when they play San Fran?
Wait, I think you're reading the wrong way.
Oh yeah, true. Is it going across? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All right, so you have.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so you have. They play Cardinals week 2. What do you think?
I have them dropping the first 2.
Okay. It doesn't matter what way. You can put fucking diagonal,
Diagonal.
backwards, whatever.
Yeah,
Do
literally.
you have them going 0-16 here?
No, absolutely not.
So they play Cleveland. So if you have them dropping the first 2, obviously you got them.
They
somewhere.
lose home to the Eagles. They lose at Arizona.
Okay. Then what happens in Cleveland?
They win Cleveland.
Okay, they're 1-2. All right, what happens when they play Baltimore?
You already know.
Okay. What about Rams?
They lose.
I think they win that, but
I think they lose that game.
1-4. All right, so
Chase Young knocks out Jared Goff.
1-4.
Okay, Giants.
They start screaming tank.
Little fucking tank for Trevor.
And then you have week 5, the Giants. I have them winning that.
That's week 6, but all right, so week
This
6.
This is where I think the big part of the schedule comes. This is where I think that they start to come alive. They take the next 3.
Okay, so you think they're gonna go 3-4, or you think they're gonna go
I
4-4?
think they take 3 divisional games in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I think they take the Lions.
Okay.
I think they take the Bengals.
Okay, they're 6-4 now.
I think they lose to Dallas.
Okay, they're
That
6-5.
game. They take the Steelers.
7-5.
They lose to the 49ers.
49ers 7-6.
They lose to the Seahawks.
Okay, 7-7.
They win home in Carolina.
8-7. So they're probably playing Philadelphia for either a wild card spot or the NFC East championship, because
And then
every team in that league every team in that division likes going fucking 9-7. So
it's
you know there's gonna be some kind of 4-way fucking tiebreaker between all of them where they're gonna have to.
It's away in Philadelphia and they lose.
8-8.
Just being real.
That was fucking disappointing.
Just being real, man.
All right. Eagles, what do you got? So, week 1 at Washington.
I have a win.
Okay.
I think we go. We definitely we beat the Rams.
Okay.
We had to fucking go to LA the last 2 times we played them. They finally get to come here. We win. We beat the Bengals. Start
Okay.
off 3-0. Out in
Okay,
San
not
Fran, that's
3-0.
very difficult. That's 3-1.
Okay, 3-1.
We beat Pittsburgh.
Okay, 4-1.
I have us losing at home to the Ravens.
I had you guys beating us, so
I know. I kept that in
okay.
because
4-2.
we're gonna beat the Giants.
5-2.
This is the Cowboys game that's at home. We win that.
Okay, 6-2. You're on a bye, so week 10, you come back to the Giants.
I think we sweep the Giants because Eagles have won the last 20 out of 24 games dating back to 2008, and New York hasn't won in Philly since 2013.
Oh shit.
So, and we won the last 7 overall against them.
Jesus. All right, so 7-2. All right, then you play Cleveland.
That's a tough one.
That's gonna
very
be a shit show. I feel like they're gonna
Probably, like,
find
sloppy
every way to
weather.
lose that game.
I have it as a win right now.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I'm biased and optimistic, but that could easily be a loss. I'll count as a win right now. This gets fucking brutal. These next
So you guys are
5
8-2
weeks,
going into Seattle, Green Bay, New Orleans, Arizona, Dallas.
yeah, this gets fucking brutal. I actually, believe it or not, I'm fucking sick. I have us beating Seattle. We haven't beat them since 2008.
I mean, you got to beat them at some point. So you're 9-2 heading into Green Bay.
We lost the last 6 to them.
Aaron Rodgers has already forced a trade.
Selfish.
He's forced a trade to Cleveland. So,
But they beat us.
okay, so Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers beat you guys.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys are 9-3.
I have us then losing against the Saints.
Okay, so you're 9-4.
Going into the desert. That place is so fucking hard to win, no matter who's playing. And they got
Arizona.
DeAndre Hopkins now. Even though we got
very interesting offense.
we got Slay, which I love, but I don't know.
Yeah, Darius
know,
Slay's gonna be huge for you guys.
Eagles' track records with big free agent cornerbacks is never good, but
Yeah,
I think
I
this one will be a
remember
little different. But yeah, I have us beating the Cardinals,
Okay.
losing at Dallas,
Okay.
and then winning the season finale.
So
which would give
that would be a 10-6 record.
No,
11
and 5.
That would give you guys 11-5.
First time since 2003 and 2004 there will be a repeat NFC East champion.
Those two
There's a
divisional
lot.
games.
That's fucking
These
tough,
two
though.
games are gonna be sick.
Yeah.
Because there's gonna be, I guarantee you, when week 15 hits, there's gonna be a lot riding on these two games for probably both these teams.
Yeah. It's gonna be tough though. I mean, 11-5. That's generous. Like you said, the NFC East is usually won at fucking 9-7, 10-6. But yeah, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be fun. What games we're going to?
I mean, we can go to fucking any game. I was this close to pulling the trigger on season tickets last night for Baltimore, or a license last night. But then I realized I got to pay for the tickets too, and it was just fucking too much. Week 1, Eagles at Redskins.
We could do
you
that.
guys could definitely go to that game. Week
knows if
4,
everything's
Ravens at Redskins.
If
And
there's no
then-
fans allowed.
For real. And then week 6, Eagles at Ravens. Wait, Ravens at Eagles. That's what that is. I definitely want to go to that game. If they're allowing fans into the stadiums,
By then they
without a
should.
doubt. There's already tickets online. They're $800 for fucking any seat in the house. So
I like that Sunday night one after with Dallas. Dallas is in Philly. That's the day after my wedding. That should be fun.
oh, the week 8 one.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Damn.
11-5. That's pretty. This is a tough schedule, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be actually. I mean, it's the 25th easiest, or it's the 25th hardest. So it's in the top 10 or top 8 of the easiest schedules. But the main reason why is just the Jets schedules, the Colts, Jets, Redskins, the Rams shitting the bed last year, the Bengals winning like 2 fucking games.
You were just
and
highlighting preseason games.
Oh yeah, whoops. So Redskins, Rams, Bengals already make up about 25 fucking losses.
You should be able to go 3-0 right there.
Yeah, right between those three. But that's the reason why your strength of schedule is so high.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh having a losing record last year. The Giants had a losing record. Cleveland had a losing record. Playoff team, losing record. Playoff team, losing record. So that's why. But
It's so crazy that there has not been a repeat NFC East champion since 04.
yeah, it's just been cycling back and forth. Every team goes fucking 9-7, 8-8. But yeah, if you guys can win the first three, then it should be you can afford to lose this game, because you can win this one, you can afford to lose this game. But if you win this game, that's huge, and then you have 4 games that you could easily win between those 4. You're already week 12 and you've maybe lost 2 games, and then you can go into that hard stretch. If you go into this with 4 losses, say to like the Rams, the Niners, the Steelers, the Ravens, or something like that, then yeah, you guys are kind of in trouble. You guys entered the Cowboys game with 3 and 4.
What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. That 5-week schedule from week 12 to 16.
12 to 16.
Not even 17. Even you can go 17.
There's gonna be a lot of pressure on that. Didn't they just fucking win that? Didn't they play last year and then the Redskins won or something like that?
No, they almost fucking did.
Why
do we always open against Washington and we just flip home field every year? We always open up against Washington.
It just be like sometimes you don't think it'd be like that, but it do. That was the same thing I was talking about before. Oh, this is a good one. The Brady effect. Buccaneers have franchise record 5 primetime games in 2020, tied with 7 other teams for the most this season. The Bucs went 7-9 last year, while none of the other 7 teams had losing records in 2019. Tampa Bay had a league low 17 primetime games from 2005 to 2019.
Wow.
So Tom Brady comes in, they're just like, get him on the fucking screen.
Fuck yeah. That's crazy. It's still crazy that Gronk came back.
The Gronk, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy because he was like in tears. I saw an interview. He was like in tears saying like he didn't love the game anymore because how bad his body was just destroyed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then he spiked the fucking beer can.
Do you think a lot of that, do you think part of him leaving might have been because of the ownership?
No, I think he got fucking blasted on the field 16 times a year. And that shot, even he says it, the shot in the playoffs that he took. He said he's had hip stingers before, but when he hit that, he knew obviously it was a Super Bowl and he had to fight through it during that Rams game. Let's see if I can pull it up.
She knows how important this is to their family and how much this means to Tom. Same exact play again. Edelman over the middle. 2nd and 3. Down the field they go.
He's been fucked up so many times. Go up to the I think it's Earl Thomas hit. He said that was one of the hardest hits he's ever seen. And Earl Thomas is so much taller than him. Like, it doesn't look crazy, but he said that hurt so fucking bad.
That is not a sandwich you want to wind.
Oh, wait, here it is. Fuck.
When he gets his fucking ACL blown out.
Patriot fans, I love all my fans. I love
Patriots.
This. I got a video not fucking 480p.
Right out. Right here in my quad. I flipped in the air, and I knew my quad was done. But
fuck, they're not gonna.
Yeah.
They're not gonna show it. But yeah, he talks about that hit. He said like I fucking knew the moment that I was playing. I was like I have to finish the game. It's the last game of the season. We're in the Super Bowl, but that fucking just put me out.
He's a beast. Imagine getting fucked up with Gronk.
Oh, man, look at that 8-8 season right there, man.
How are you in here?
He's been in here for like 5 minutes.
What?
Yeah, we're listening.
Yeah, he joined and it made my shit completely go crazy.
He left.
I fucking disconnected him.
Why?
Why you kick me out?
First off, you're not even fucking allowed to be in here.
Jesus.
Why?
Well, I made the rules for podcasts so only people could join. I don't even know how you see this channel. First off, second off, we're recording. You should know. Hey, it says podcast. Maybe they're recording. Maybe I just don't just jump in here for no fucking reason. Maybe you think. Maybe you say, hey, maybe I shouldn't do the things I do.
Hey, don't be mean. That's fucked up.
I mean, it's easy to edit it out. That's cool.
Oh yeah, make me do more fucking work. Yeah, why don't you?
Mike said he's making a podcast because you fucking dropped the fucking ball.
For real, I was just complaining about you for the last 55 minutes.
Yeah, that's all it was.
It'll be on Spotify. No, I'm joking.
It's already uploaded.
I'm just genuinely confused
But
as to how you're.
I think this is this is a good time for a little guest action.
Am I allowed? Because he just kicked me out. Like,
nah, man, welcome.
It's not you. It's everybody. Because I set it up to where nobody could get in but these two. And apparently that's not right. I just actually just kicked.
While you hash that out, we're gonna plug our sponsor. This podcast has been brought to you by My Dick. My Dick, it'll make you happy. Use promo code Get Fucked for 20% off My Dick. There you go.
So what's up, Ooze? What do you want to talk about?
No, nothing now. I feel like
all right.
cheap. I feel cheap.
How do you think I feel?
Yo, you didn't even feel like you didn't even like explain yourself. You just like, how you get in here?
You didn't even explain yourself, bro. You sat in here for 5 minutes and then you just said something randomly.
I was listening to what you guys were talking about. It was nice.
I thought I was having a fucking stroke. I hear somebody not other than these two. I'm like, yo, do I have Ooze's fucking stream up? I'm like, oh wait, why the fuck would I have Ooze's stream up? There's no way I have his stream up.
All you heard was, look at that 8-8 record.